tonight. Coming here, it means so much for you guys to be here. I know you guys are all busy, it's a Friday night, or you guys told your situationship that, whatever it is. You guys could have been blackout drunk at Tap House, but you are here with us tonight. So, I know you guys are all wondering one thing, which is, why is this show called Christmas 2? And the answer is really simple. It's because we just fucking hated Valentine's Day. Yeah. We had a holiday for couples 7 days ago, and then we had a holiday 308 days later, and we were like, we gotta go with the second one. So, tonight we have an amazing lineup of comedians here today. Some of them, it's their first time performing, so please be civil, please be kind. Make sure to laugh out loud. We are not doing any polite laughters today. And with that, please welcome your first mic to the stage, Madison.
Should not have popped 4 tabs of acid before this, but here we are. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've done stand-up. I took a break because, well, I got scared, but I'm back. And it's the new year, yay, oh my god. I made a lot of New Year's resolutions this year. I told myself I had to stop going to CED to study. For those of you who don't know what CED is, that's College of Environmental Design. And I went there last semester basically to pretend to look studious, when in reality I was looking for the granola baddies. Yeah, I ended up this school year with bad grades and no bitches. I'm back, yeah. If I had a boyfriend, you wouldn't catch me at Standup Cal, no. I only do stand-up to find the hoes, because that's where they are. But yeah, 2025, I'm making a lot of big changes in my life. I would have come up here last year and told you a story about some crazy frat party I went to, but that's all in the past, okay? I'm 20 now, I'm a changed woman. I go to co-op parties. Yeah, I really like going to co-op parties. Instead of getting sloshed with a bunch of guys named Trent, I'm now getting sloshed with a bunch of non-binary baristas. It's really, really awesome. It's basically just everyone in your discussion section who has a septum piercing and wants to talk about veganism. It's really, really great. There's also always a stripper pole, like right in the middle of the party. I feel like the frat equivalent of the stripper pole is the keg stand. But the stripper pole, it's just a lot more fun. Like, why would I want to accidentally flash a bunch of frat guys while I'm drinking beer upside down, when I could accidentally flash a bunch of gay people while kind of sliding pathetically on a stripper pole like the sadder version of Honora? But yeah, coming back to school in the new year, I love to see all like the college tours on campus. I always like to have fun with them. I either like to pretend I'm having the best time ever, or I'm like one data A class away from jumping off the campus. Yeah, I'll see a tour group walk past, I'll put my head in my hands, I'll start groaning, like the weight of having to talk about Bob Dylan at a party with 15 chain-smoking DJs is just really getting me down. I've been workshopping, though, new ways to have fun with tour groups. I've been thinking of maybe going through really dramatic breakups with my friends. Like, I'll see a tour group and I'll shout like, "Oh my god, I thought you loved me," or just because all our friends are poly doesn't mean we are, or when you said we were exclusive, I didn't know I couldn't make out with girls in the kids' bathroom, just fun things like that. But it's February, in case you didn't know. It's the month of everyone's favorite holiday, Groundhog's Day. Yes. I was scrolling through TikTok the other morning right after I woke up just to maintain a healthy mental state. And I saw like a video of the Punxsutawney Phil whole thing in Philadelphia. I thought that was really crazy. For some of you guys who don't know what Groundhog's Day is, it's like the goofiest holiday in America, which is saying something because we have a holiday where we tell kids that an overweight white man is going to break into their house and eat all their cookies and milk. And Michael Jackson saw that guy kissing my mommy. That shit is fucked up. But yeah, Groundhog's Day, it's really awesome. It's basically when we wake up an innocent groundhog named Phil and we make him go tell us the weather for the next few months. Like, we don't even let bro get ready in the morning, but then he's just shoved in front of a bunch of TV cameras and men cosplaying Abraham Lincoln, like yell at him to look for his shadow. Poor guy doesn't even know what a shadow is and he's just like expected to look for it. But yeah, also, what genius thought that a groundhog could predict our weather? Was there just like some random guy one day who was like, you see that giant hamster over there? If he wakes up and sees a shadow, this winter is gonna be a bitch. Yeah, another fun fact about Groundhog's Day is that it takes place in a park called Gobbler's Knob. That's right. There's a park called Gobbler's Knob, and that's where the world-famous Punxsutawney Phil is called upon to look for his shadow. Who thought that was a good name for a park? It sounds like a place in Fortnite, like where we dropping boys, Gobbler's Knob. I feel like if you asked a middle school boy in the Discord chat rooms to come up with a name for a park, he'd tell you Gobbler's Knob. Like imagine you're from Punxsutawney, Philadelphia, which already kind of sounds like a sad fate. But like, it's a Friday night, you and your boys are trying to get lit. There's like nothing really to do besides like go to a park and steal lampposts after the Eagles win. I don't really know what people in Philadelphia do for fun. But one of your boys texts in the group chat like, yo, let's go mob the knob, or yo, let's go gobble that knob. I don't know, just something I was thinking about. But yeah, happy non-denominational holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Give it up for Madison once again, everybody. Listening to that mix of Madison kind of makes me sad because I never worked it out with any of the girls that I met at co-op parties. You know, but I should have known it's like very visibly like clear. I don't have a septum, they don't have a dad, it wasn't ever gonna work out. Yeah. But our next comedian has a great poker face and knows a thing or two about cards. Please welcome Katie to the stage, everybody.
Hi. Although whippets, those of you who don't know, it's a drug that makes you high, and you typically take it from balloons. What a great business opportunity for clowns. And their drug front for the trades, kids' birthday parties. Hello, no one's gonna know. Some guy's gonna go to the nearest clown next to him at a kid's birthday party and be like, hey, bozo. I got his phone right here. What? You got the good stuff? Whippets? Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Bam. Thanks, bozo. Shots fired. Did the drug trade go wrong? Nah. There's a couple of balloons. 10-year-old kids are getting high as fuck. Wee! It's better than my jewel! These kids go down the wrong path and they form a gang called the Young Whippet Snappers. Y'all ever look at a set of playing cards very closely? No? I was at a casino once and I did. It makes sense that the queen and the king are married and they have a son named Jack. But like why? How come all the queens look like they're Jacks, but not all the kings do? Like the Jacks have mustaches, but the kings can't even grow a beard. Awkward conversation between the king of spades and Jack of spades. King of Spades is sitting at the dinner table with their house made of cards. Right? Jack of Spades there too, and he's just sitting there like. King of Spades asks Jack of Spades, hey, Jack. Jack of Spades, look at me right now. Dad, you know I can't look at you. This is how I'm printed on the card. Your mother and I are having a hard time right now. You don't need your attitude. Well, you're not my dad. How come I have a mustache? You can't even grow a fucking beard. You take that back, right? Knock is heard at the door. King of Spades walks over and as cards walk like this. King of Diamonds. Yes, it's me. And I'm here to take my son back, because I'm the real father. King of Spades is shocked. Queen of Spades, is this true? He had a mustache and he didn't. King of Spades and King of Diamonds are going at it. The fight's so big that the house of cards falls down. And all the cards are shuffled into a deck. And then the dealer shuffling that deck looks to me and says, ma'am, you're supposed to be playing poker. You're playing dysfunctional families with cards. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Sorry. You know that stereotype that all Asians look the same? These people and I agree, it's true. I mean, for a while when I was younger, it took me a while to realize that not every Asian grandma around me was my grandma. You know, like I'd be walking down the street with my grandma, see another old Asian lady and be like, granted, I looked like every other Asian kid as well, so it worked out, right? No questions asked whatsoever. I actually grabbed the wrong hand, and that's why my grandma's Indian. Y'all ever been beat up by a gang of furries? I was on social media and I remember seeing a gang of furries beating up a guy. I'm on the furry side, okay? Because this guy was harassing them, but getting beat up by furries is like getting your ass beat by Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. Like he's like, you know, it's really silly. He's got gloves, he ain't playing around too. You know, and you're like, furries are not scary, bro. You know what they call furries? Or you know what they call non-furries? Fleshies. Yeah, they think we're soft. Me, I think I got it. I'm not gonna let them push me around. You know why? Not because I'm a furry, but because I have a similarity with them. They like Disney. I like Disney. I can speak their language. I could be surrounded by a gang of Mickey Mouse furries. And you better call me Donald Duck, because I'm gonna be like, it's my time, thank you.
Give it up for Katie, everybody. You know, speaking of cards, I have this like one personal rule where I think if you're a decent-looking U.S. citizen, you should not play any cards at the dinner table. What do you mean you have a face card and a green card? Like, put that fucking down. Next up, we have our very treasurer and scribe at Standup Cal. Please welcome Chris to the stage.
What's up, guys? So I'm in Deke, which you guys probably know is that one frat that has sex with goats for their hazing. Oh! People ask me they're like, Chris, like, did you fuck that goat? So it's it's usually not a problem, but except for like with girls sometimes potentially, it can get a little weird because I have a goat mural above my bed. I usually put like red lights around it. And sometimes, like, right as I'm coming, I just go, bah! That's pretty stupid. Go to co-op parties. Those can get a little weird. You know, you always walk in, there's like weird graffiti on the wall of SpongeBob cutting himself. Doing drugs. I was at Casa Zimbabwe like 2 weeks ago, and my friend, he was like, "Yo, dude, you gotta pull up, man. He's got the real, authentic lesbians at this place, man. These are the real eaters. They had an orgy at the last one." You know, I would call bullshit, but I've heard a lot about these orgies.
Yeah.
Now you laugh, man. There's fucking people in your lecture hall at these orgies. Everybody's at these orgies. I'm at these orgies. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm not. I wish. Does anyone here know anyone who's been to an orgy? You. Who's your friend?
One of my coworkers.
And yeah, it's just your coworker who goes to orgies, you know? Welcome to Berkeley. You know, one thing I find funny is I feel like the more people I talk to that hear about these orgies, they're like, "Oh, I got invited, but I didn't go." Which is like, okay. Because I can't imagine that these invites get like placed lightly, you know? I can't imagine that that's not like a relationship-altering fucking offer right there. Like, "Yo, dude, so after Friday, I won't tell many people this, but we're gonna have this fucking like non-consensual like orgy. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you, bro." It's like, nah, dude, I'm good. It's like, okay, word. We're still good for lunch on Tuesday though, or? No. Yeah, I don't know. I think going out in general as an extrovert just kind of feels like I'm just like gaslighting myself constantly. I'll wake up and be like, "Fuck, dude, I got fucked up last night. That was fucking awesome. I talked to so many people. That was sick." In reality, like 60% of the time, I was just like standing around the party, just like looking for someone to talk to, just like. That would be the opposite on a night in. Like, be like, "Dude, I fucking just did nothing last night. I'm just fucking wasting away, dude." In reality, I watched the 3 seasons of Bachelorette. It was the best night of my life. Like, I really like porn, you know? Yeah. I've been watching this new kind of porn. It's called Celeste porn, which is like porn for women, made by women, right? And you know, I heard about this. It's like, I'm thinking it's like the answer key to the final, right? Like, you gotta study this shit. So, so you can imagine my disappointment when it was just 2 AI Timothy Chalamets making out in the comments. Very rough. I think every guy here remembers first time they watched porn, first time jerking off. You know, it's kind of like discovering fire, you know? Except I had one friend whose his first time ever coming was actually from a girl. Which I was like, damn, dude. I mean, he must have thought she was a fucking wizard, dude. Just like, oh my god, like the whole hand? She's a genius! Must have been crazy with a girl. I wouldn't know. Mine was with a goat, actually. Thank you guys. That's my time.
Give it up for the GOAT. Last week on Valentine's Day, I went to Trader Joe's and they had this like small corner of food that was gonna get expired. And I was like, oh, at least something's getting spoiled on Valentine's Day. Next up, we have our new blood comedian. She just came to an open mic one day and she completely rocked it. Please put your hands together for Laney.
Hey, hi. Alright, so I'm a freshman, which is basically a slur at Berkeley. And the first thing that people ask me when they realize I'm a freshman, they say, "What's your major?" Or they say, "What unit are you in?" Or they say, "Have you been in the center of a Berkeley warming message yet?" And when they don't ask that, they ask where you're from. And then I kind of get a little bit of an ego because you can throw a rock and hit a bitch who's like, "I'm from LA, but not really LA, just kind of like 45 minutes, 75 minutes on a good day to LA. And then I sort of kind of get a little bit of an ego because I'm from Chicago. And then that ego I get kind of goes away really quickly because I remember that means I'm out of state. Yeah, but my rich grandfather passed away the month before college acceptances came out, so that's why I'm here. Don't feel bad for me, girl. One time he sat me down when I was 8 and he said, "Laney, if we were in the Civil War right now, you'd be on the south side. I said, I don't dress like this because I'm a lesbian. I dress like this because I think it'd be a really good pig farming outfit. But yeah, so they say lots of the same things every single time. They say, have you seen the bean? And I say, yes, it's not as difficult to find as you would think. I know some people have some difficulty with that. This guy knows it. And then they say, do you know Shameless? Or do you know the show The Bear? And I say, no, is that the one where the man does cocaine? Or the one where the bear does cocaine? And they say, no, that's Cocaine Bear. I'm talking about the one with Jeremy Allen White. And I say, he's in both shows and he does cocaine in both shows. I think that he's really into Chicago-based coke media, but so is the rest of the city, so I think he'll fit in just fine. Alright, and the next thing they say is, have you seen any celebrities? And the people who are asking this are the people that live right outside the Hollywood sign and their moms co-produced Spy Kids 3 like 30 years ago. And they say, have you seen any celebrities? And they're from LA County, Santa Barbara, I guess. And I say yes. My dad told me when I was in 4th grade that Oprah was moving into the apartment building down the block from me because she really wanted to reconnect with local life in Chicago. And I said, oh wow, that's amazing. So I proceeded to tell everyone in 4th grade that until freshman year of high school. And then I said, Dad, does Oprah still live there? And he said, when did Oprah live there? Oprah never lived there. And then he said, where does Oprah live, if not a 3rd bedroom, 2-story apartment in Chicago? She lives in Santa Barbara. And so I told everyone everything in 4th grade though. I told them that I was having sex with myself every other day because my friend's 4th grade brother told me that when you wash your belly button, that's basically hitting first base with yourself. Which is more than this guy can say. Anyways, I love California. I love Berkeley. I love waiting for the bus. I love running after the bus. I love when the bus driver decides they want to cause a 20-car pileup just to see if they can. And even though they have 3 hospitalized and 2 dead by lunchtime. And so I love seeing the bears. I love seeing the tables on Sproul. I love seeing bears on Coke. It reminds me of home. And yeah, then sorry, one second. This is my first time. Woohoo! Woo! Yes. Oh yeah, so this place is like nowhere else. I was just associating at the bus stop the other day, trying to see people get permanent brain damage. And then I heard someone say really loudly to a large group of friends, my 4th favorite prime minister of all time is... I was like, wow, that's amazing. It really snapped me back to where I was, because I think a lot of people are better off if they can name at least 2 prime ministers. And I always thought prime minister was a job that they made up for people, like monkey wrangler or 47th president of the United States, but that's just me. Alright. This is not my first time in California, though. I have some friends who live in LA County. I checked. Because I'm suspicious of everyone now. And the first thing that we did was we went to In-N-Out. And so we're standing in this In-N-Out line, and all of a sudden, there's this huge loud crash behind me, and we all turn around, and there's this guy in the middle of the road, and it was a hit and run. And so the police officer that was what's the word? The police officer that was conveniently in front of us in the line turned around immediately, and he started getting into action, and then suddenly there was a helicopter right over the parking lot, and everyone in the line was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And they're all eating their fries, like it doesn't even matter. This guy's on the middle of the road. And this woman comes back and she's like, I chased that guy all the way to the freeway and I got his license plate. And everyone in the audience was like, oh my god, Mr. Police Officer, you did it. Let's buy your double-double. And someone was like, that was so hot, I'm gonna let him finger my belly button later. And then he was like, no, it's all in a day's work. And I was like, wow. So this is what it's really like to be in Santa Barbara.
Laney, everybody! Can you believe that? Ooh. Yeah, I was a freshman last year. Being a freshman was weird. I remember one of my friends ended her talking stage because of, a very standard Berkeley ick. Just like, I don't know, he just has too many flex dollars on Grubhub. By the way, any of you guys still talking to your GBO group? Oh, you guys. GBO stands for you're never gonna see this motherfucker again. Next up, we also have another first-time comedian. Please welcome Khang to the stage, everybody.
Awesome, bro. So I do comedy. So my friend asked me, why don't you ever do racist joke on the stage? I'm like, I don't know. Like talking about race is super hard for me, okay? Like I don't growing up separate people by color like America do. Like you guys have white people, black people, blah blah blah, you know. But you think about it, like white people, you're not really white, you're kind of brown. Like I'm Asian, this is not really yellow, it's kind of brown. You know? Like black people, you're not really black, you're kind of brown. Like for real. Like, and then I think about Indian people, you know? Like Indian people, you know, you just brown. You don't have a secondary color. I'm sorry. You know what a better symptom besides the crayon symptom, why you grab a black people? I think in caramel symptom, you know, we have like light caramel for white people, medium caramel for yellow, and then we have like dark caramel for black people. I don't know. Okay. So what type of Asian I am? Chinese, right? What type? Chinese. No. Yeah. I get mad when people say I'm Chinese. You know, if you mistake me for being Chinese in China, I'm not gonna get mad. But like at UC Berkeley, like really, like, I have a 3.8 GPA. I'm gonna have an engineering degree. I 5'8". I'm also single. Like I'm so fucking average. The last thing I wanted to be Chinese. So. This one is from my engineer people. So engineer, right? We cannot have a normal conversation. You know, one time I slide into your DM on Instagram, and I was like, yo, can you send me your free body diagram? Anyway, she blocked me. That's not how I am single, okay? I think that the problem I'm single because like as an engineer, when you solve a real problem, you got a real solution, right? But in order to have a real girlfriend, you kind of have to solve some unreal problem. You know? Some unreal problem like, if I would fly, would you still love me? Like, I don't know. Are you talking about the fly that hit the Twin Tower on 9/11? I just a regular I know, I like, what do you want me to do with a regular fly? Put the fly in the jar, you know, look at you every day, it's like, I fucking love you, bro. My little fly, you know. I love you, even though if you hit the Twin Tower, I still love you. Stupid. Anyway, I feel like it's super easy to talk to man, you know. Just be like, yo bro, what's up? And then, woman, am I right, you know. Okay, the point is, I love women, but I cannot talk to women. I don't like men, but I can talk to men super easy. I don't know if that make me gay. Yeah. So, you know, when you're single for too long, your friend try to butter you up, you know, they be like, Khang, there's plenty of fish in the sea, bro. Eventually you're gonna find one. Like, I don't know, it's like the equivalent of like, you go in 500 feet outside of this room to that direction, you see a homeless guy and you need out and you be like, yo, there are a lot of apartments in Berkeley. Like, why the fuck you here, man? Just go grab an apartment. Yeah. What the fuck? I take my homie to Valentine. That's so lonely, you know. Then it's getting a little romantic. and then he will make me, he write me something in Bowen. He writes something like, bro, I read violet with blue. Why are all the bitches for me and for you? So yeah, that's my thought. Thank you guys.
The next comedian is actually someone that I've been convincing to start stand-up comedy. You know somebody's funny when they're going through it. Please welcome Moy to the stage.
Oh, fuck, who put the Gardener's playlist? I was like looking in the friggin' crowd looking for my uncle, just confused. Yo, I thought you got deported. What the heck? Yeah. Speaking of gardeners, my dad's a gardener. He's like cleaning the yards of Stanford. So boo, Stanford. But yeah, he cleans the yards, but he couldn't clean the trauma in my past. Fuck, Dad. Yeah, the other day I was talking to my friend and she asked, "Would you beat your child?" Absolutely, what the fuck? I'm like, being a bitch? Like, I'm taking this insanely seriously. I'm taking a boxing class this semester. I'm trying to learn the art form of this shit. With each punch, tell a story. Reminder of my love towards my son. She's like, Dad, thank you so much. I feel so much love right now. You're welcome. Yeah. But I like the overall goal is to be the GOAT of this shit. Messi, Michael Jordan, me! Yeah. But I feel like one year my dad was in the conversation of being the GOAT. He had the beating of the year. He beat me from the kitchen to the room. Why? Why do you need that much space? I honestly don't know. Like, he started in the kitchen, just threw me in the fridge. And my mom was like, stop! I'm cooking! I took it to the bedroom, just finished me off, came out, my mom had like the soup ready, the victory meal. I was like, we're teaching him well. Yeah, but my mom heard these jokes, she would get pissed. She'd be like, why are you exaggerating? Like, you're lying, it wasn't even that bad. That's like saying the Vietnam War wasn't that bad. You're like, oh yeah, World War II had millions more deaths. Oh my God, I didn't think of that. You know what, let me go to the homeless veteran and telegraph. Hey man, it wasn't that bad. Get a job! Yeah. No, but... Whoa. You gotta support the homeless, don't laugh. Yeah. But honestly, getting beat taught me a lot of lessons. English isn't my first language, so it taught me English, and my mom is always so proud of this story. She's like, oh yeah, you were in church, couldn't stop crying, and then God came to me, like, beat him now. I don't know why God's Batman in this situation, but my mom's like, yes, Batman, I'll go beat him right now. Took me outside, just keep in mind, I was like 5 months old. Just bam, boom, bang. So that's how I learned onomatopoeia. Yeah. Kind of crazy. A few years later, I was in English class. She was like, oh, who knows onomatopoeia? I was like, me. It was kind of weird. I looked around. All the minority kids were raising their hand too. I was like, oh shit, I'm not alone. Then I got a little sad. I was like, fuck, I'm not unique. Yeah. But speaking of people causing trauma, anyone here been dumped? Anyone? Don't be ashamed. It happens. Fucking losers, what the hell? You should be ashamed of yourselves. That's terrible. Yeah, so I got dumped twice last semester. That was educational. So I've been telling myself to not cry. Yeah. But it would have been nice to say I got dumped by 2 girls. to say, hey, I pull bitches, I have game, you know? The only thing getting pulled was my heart out of my chest, yeah? I was just like, ugh! Felt like I was in Mortal Kombat, just, ugh! Fatality! Fuck! Yeah, but whenever girls ask me now, like, oh, what's your relationship experience? I'm like, oh, I have 2 breakups. Instead of saying getting dumped by 1. And I feel like that just paints the picture that I'm experienced. Like, oh my god, he's so hot, he's so experienced. Legit, no one has said that. I haven't spoken to a girl in months. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it is very educational getting dumped. You just have a deeper appreciation for music. So I was like, oh, that's what Olivia Rodrigo meant this whole time. I felt like I joined a cult. I was like, yes, I understand it now. Yeah, but I feel like artists and I just have a completely different idea of what heartbreak means. These motherfuckers be making bangers. I'm the one getting banged by life. What the fuck? I didn't even drop the soap stuff. Stop it now. But yeah, I listen to Big Sean. You know, anyone know Bounce Back? The song? Yeah. I was in a vulnerable place. Boy, need to get hyped up, you know? So the chorus goes, last night took it now, but tonight I bounced back. Tonight never came. Tell me why never came. Dude, I haven't seen the moon in fucking months. It's just pure sunlight. I'm like, fuck. Got diagnosed with skin cancer. At least I get to make a wish, right? I wish to be the goat of beatings. That's my wish. But, hot take. Batman's a pedophile, could we all agree? Who's a pedophile? Why is a billionaire recruiting orphan boys to his mansion? If we're using this logic, is dating Batman? The fuck? I haven't heard anyone calling him a hero. Yeah, but it just doesn't make sense. Dude is a billionaire. He got a whole lineup of baddies. Catwoman, if he wants a little animal roleplay. You know, the cat and the bat, even rhymes. Fuck. Harley Quinn, if he wants to get a little freaky. Anything goes, you know? And then there's Wonder Woman, a legit goddess. He can go to the heavens, say what up to his dead parents. Hi, Mom. So Alfred's like, which one, sir? Batman's like, none. I want the boy in the tights. What the fuck, Batman? They're just kind of weird. Most Robins are just young boys. Is Batman like a Catholic priest? What the fuck? Jeez. It's just kind of weird. One of them's called Tim Drake. Drake! It's been freaking foreshadowed this whole time, people. But the weirdest one is his own son. Like, yo, Batman, what the fuck is going on? Your son? See, just none of this shit would be happening if Batman got beat as a child. This is the point I've been trying to make, people. Alright, thank you, everyone.
I mean, I'm really glad that my Asian parents didn't beat me up as a kid. Boo! Yeah, they were really civil about it. They, instead of beating me themselves, they made sure to hire a different adult. That's how I learned Taekwondo until black belt. Yeah. Our next comedian has just returned from a long and mysterious journey. Please welcome Santi to the stage.
I faced a perilous journey of late. Before I begin, I'd like to offer a word of warning to the more sensitive members of tonight's audience. What you're about to hear may shock and disturb you. I've documented my harrowing experience in this journal, upon which I shall now recount for you the unfortunate tale of going to IKEA with my mother. Day 1. I have entered the labyrinth. I do not find myself here willingly. No, I have been deceived. For upon the outset of this expedition, I had been informed only that we would be passing visit to local booksellers. Yet, as we left the Barnes & Noble's Literature Emporium, my mother turned to me and revealed her devious plot. Hey, we should go to IKEA while we're here. And with that phrase, my fate was sealed. So here I find myself, deep in the bowels of the maze, and it is here that I must survive. As I search desperately for the exit sign, I'm thwarted in every direction by Nordic gibberish. What on God's green earth is a lag captain? A Love-backen? What, I beg, is the difference between a Scarabi and a Fialchno? They're both chairs! This is no language! It's silly Muppet words! Day 2. I suspect, for deprived as I am of natural light, I've long since lost track of time. My mother remains unmoved. She has spent the better half of an hour comparing the differences between a pair of identical Utzvinings. I do not believe that such differences exist, but I fear she may be lost to the maze. I fear too that my mind may be slipping in turn. The doors are shrinking now, the beds too. All around I find myself surrounded by minuscule sharks, oversized sleeves, and space-efficient plastic tubs. I'm informed that I've entered the children's section of the store. But just beyond is that. Yes! A light! Natural light! An escape! It was not an escape. Merely the in-store restaurant. The siren's call meant to sustain the entrapped and wandering husbands, sons, and boyfriends seeking sustenance and respite on their arduous journeys. From here, tall windows taunt me with a vision of the world beyond. Food, light. I could stay here. I could live here. But I must escape, it is a trap! I continue forth, I have discovered an escalator, yet, in true maniacal fashion, it moves in only one direction, teasing me with the possibility of escape, and trapping me further in the maze. As I catch my reflection in the mirror display, I am shocked by what I see. I recall myself entering this purgatory so long ago, naive, clean-shaven, full head of hair. The exit is in sight now. I can see the sliding doors marking my escape, yet, just upon our breach of the boundary, my mother announced that I'm just gonna go grab some Ziploc bags, I won't be a second. She has been gone for many a second. I bear witness as families that have followed behind us all along our journey stride past me on their way to freedom. I remain trapped in place awaiting my mother's return. Escape is so close, but she has the car keys. I hold tight to my greatest source of hope, my knowledge that the store will close its operations in but half of an hour. Surely, if nothing else, that will at last provide me relief from my toil. The store closed 30 minutes ago. Yet against all logic and the rules to which we have agreed as a functioning society, Mom! My mother has yet to enter the checkout line. Hours and an ungodly number of Swedish meatballs later, we step through those sliding glass doors. I feel the fresh air of the open world wash across my face. At last, the nightmare is over. At last I have known freedom. Indeed, we came We saw. We bought one Billy bookcase. Thank you.
Together for Santi, everybody. You know, I kind of relate a lot to Khang because actually English isn't my first language either. So during my freshman year, I had a lot of troubles. One time I overheard my roommates talking about a guy, and they're like, you know, I think he's kind of fruity though. So for the longest time, I thought they were talking about smell. One time I get into an elevator and I kind of smell like peach shampoo from a guy, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so fruity. By the look he gave me, you guys would have thought I just deported his ass to Colombian meth farm. Yeah. But next comedian is a very special comedian. He was in Cal, he left us for his ex, and then came back from New York City. Please give it up for Sanjay.
What's up, guys? Yeah. We actually broke up again, so worth it. No. What's up? I'm Sanjay. So I had mixed feelings about racism because I'm from Texas, right? Yeah. Thank you, the Texans. Yeah. I'm from Texas, right? And I remember one time I was back home in Texas, and the super southern conservative guy called me a curry muncher. And then nearby there was a British guy, and the British guy was like, "Oi, leave him alone." And I turned to the British guy and I was like, "Why don't you shut the fuck up, you goddamn immigrant? Why don't you go back to where you came from?" Because sure, the conservative guy hates me, but the British guy is the reason I'm here. Like, sure, he thinks I smell bad, but you have my grandfather's jewelry in your museum. That's way worse. I like music. I like The Weeknd, that's why I put him on as my walk-up song. Everyone got mad at The Weeknd a few years ago for making this TV show called The Idol. Yeah, everyone was like, oh, I saw a bunch of tweets that were like, The Weeknd has weird sexual fantasies. I'm like, yeah, I feel like we could have deduced that from his lyrics, no? Did we need a Vanity Fair article to tell us that? Like, The Weeknd, like, who thought it'd be a good idea to let him write a TV show after hearing his music, you know? Like, I once heard this Weeknd song, and I've done the liberty of printing out the lyrics here for you guys today. The song starts off, he says, do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? You can ride my face until you drip and cum. Can you lick the tip and throat the dick or not? Can you let me stretch that pussy out or not? Yeah, I'm gonna take a guess here and say his favorite position probably isn't missionary, alright? The guy might be into some stuff, but what's next? Are we gonna give Future the rapper a movie? Are we gonna let him write and direct a movie? Are we gonna get on Letterboxd and be like, Future's female characters are so one-dimensional? Yeah, the guy once wrote, I might pull my dick out and piss on her. I don't know if he'd be trying to pass the Bechdel test, alright? But speaking of The Weeknd, right? I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I've had sex tens of times before, right? And hearing The Weeknd talk about sex and then comparing it to my own experience, I don't think we're talking about the same activity. This guy, he's talking about moves, positions I've never heard of, making women come multiple times. Making a girl come to me is like a science experiment. I've only ever done it on accident. I'm never able to recreate the same method for the desired result, you know? Here's how I know making a girl come is like a science experiment. Every time it happens, I'm always down there like, Eureka! Because The Weeknd, he's like the LeBron James of sex. And I'm like the Sanjay Reddy of basketball and sex. He's always like, I'm fucking these women. He's like, I'm fucking your women. I'm fucking everybody's women, you know? I don't even like to call what I do fucking women. I think I move in and out of girls. That's what I do. I have weird stipulations to sex. Not like freaky stuff, just like times of day that I'd like to have it, you know? Like I don't like having sex in the morning time, you know? Because my mornings are reserved for self-loathing. know? Like every morning I wake up, I look myself in the mirror, I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing with your life? Like I can't come when I'm not where I want to be in society, you know? Like every morning I'm like, oh, you're behind in school, you're taking your personal relationships for granted, everything you have in your life is given to you, not earned. Like I can't get hard with imposter syndrome, you know? And I've had sex in the morning time, but I'll be having like an existential crisis during it. So I'm just like, and the girl's like, this pussy's yours. I'm like, I don't think I deserve it. Thank you. I feel like dating. I'm trying to get back out there with dating, you know? But like, I hear my female friends talk about dating, that scares me. You know, like I have a friend, she just broke up with her boyfriend, you know, and she was talking about it, and she was like, and then she was like, I knew he was a bitch when we were on the subway, and I looked at this homeless guy, and he was like, hey, don't look at that homeless guy. And I was like, man, I need my man to like let me look wherever I want, and he needs to be able to handle it if shit happens. I was like, so common sense is a red flag now? What the fuck? That's crazy. What do these girls want from me? Like, I'm supposed to be like, hey babe, look down, stare down that guy who's talking to himself and probably has a knife, so I can put him in a headlock. Right? But it's like obviously like no, I know like by looking at me I'm kind of tall and like I work out, but I'm a bitch. You know? Like it's not cool. It's not like asking me to do something when a guy like I'm not gonna obviously push you into the homeless guy and be like, all right, you take it. Let's run together, girl. You know? But like asking me, even though I'm like tall, to like do something when shit happens, that's like asking Caitlyn Jenner to breastfeed, you know, like. You know, like I identify as an intimidating guy, but like, come on now. How am I doing on time? Should I wrap up or? Okay, all right. That's my set. I'm Sanjay. Much ready. Keep it going.
Please make some noise if you guys had some fun tonight. Christmas too. We're doing that again. No, thank you so much, truly. You guys being here means so much to us as a growing organization. If you guys had fun, you guys liked our sets, please go up to the comedian, tell them you like their set, compliment it, French kiss them, whatever you want to do. It means a lot to us. Also, very important, please. Okay, somebody's doing that. Please follow us on Instagram, Standup Cal. We're going to post today's show reels. We're going to post our next show dates. We're going to post all these important informations, including the open mics, where all the material that you've seen today has been birthed, polished there. You guys are always welcome to just come, watch, or do a set. So, that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming.